only gives you stronger roots. Longer, what don't care. It was in a crystal bottle on his desk. He saved it for the times to not forget. I missed the way he'd share with me the things that he held true, while the lessons rolled around his 80 proof. All it took was one sip and it blew my mind. Those good old boys sure make it right. No, smooth whiskey takes some time, ain't nothing like the real thing. And you can't go back once you get a taste. Everything is second rate. I'm talking genuine, made in the USA. Ain't nothing like the real thing. Real thing. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. There ain't nothing real thing. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Thought I'd been in love a time or two. Didn't know that I was lost till I met you. And I could tell that every other girl was history. Never knew how real it could feel till you found me. All it took was one kiss and you blew my mind. An all-American kind of fine. You know, a good woman is hard to find. Ain't nothing like the real thing. And you can't go back once you get a taste. Everyone is second rate. I'm talking genuine, made in the USA. Ain't nothing like the real thing. The real thing. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. There ain't nothing real thing. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. There ain't nothing real thing. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. There ain't nothing real. There ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. There ain't nothing. You know, a great song is hard to find. The right words and a perfect rhyme. 'Cause we all feel the same side. We're all looking for the real thing. You know you're not the same once you hear it play. There's nothing else that can replace what's genuine, made in the USA. Ain't nothing like the real thing. I'm talking genuine, made in the USA. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Hello, friends, Lambdites, Lambdans. Don't really know what to call everybody these days. We all have so many different words and phrases and names for what we call each other, but this is the Lambda family, and I am Ryan Hamblin, the program manager of the Build Weeks program here at Lambda School. And I'm bringing you watchers, followers, friends of us on YouTube, live the project demos of the Lambda School Hackathon. So we're about to kick things off and get rolling in just a minute. But if you're joining us, we're super excited to have you. We really love to bring sort of an audience to some of the hard work these students put into these projects, because delivering a project in 48 hours and with the quality the projects that these students have built, it's nothing short of a miracle. And a lot of these students didn't know even how to write a single line of code just a few short months ago. And they're now just proficient at what they do. And it's really amazing to watch it happen. So first and foremost, we need to go through and thank our sponsors for this event. We host a semi-annual hackathon every winter and every summer. And we always try and go out and get local sponsors for people who are, charged up in the industry, who give us a chance to sort of link up and, get some really cool prizes for some of our students that win the hackathon. So first and foremost, we want to thank Wes Boss of Wes Boss himself and his training program. We'd like to thank Kent C. Dodds as well, and Tyler McGinnis for helping us donate their time and their prizes to the Lambda School Hackathon. And then, of course, we'd like to thank Lambda School themselves for the effort and prizes and things that we put into this program. So on Monday morning, we kicked off the hackathon, and students sort of over the weekend had self-organized into groups, kind of chaotically. And they got into these groups. They're all student-submitted project ideas, except for maybe a couple that I submitted myself because I wanted to see if we could get some students to build some, which they did, and it's amazing. And they got into these groups, and they just self-formed, and now here we are. They've spent the last 48 hours. Many of them coded well through the night. We saw the emojis coming in the hackathon channel. The GIFs were flying crazily through the channels at Lambda School. And now we're here on the other side of the hackathon. The deadline to submit a video demo to me was just a few minutes ago. It's just like an hour ago. And now we have 19 project demos to get through for you to enjoy. And take notes, students, those of you who are tuning in, take notes of the project names. I'll send you a list of the names at the end as well. Because we're going to be voting on a few specific categories coming up. But let's just go ahead. Let's actually just dive right into these demos because that's the meat and potatoes of it all. I may or may not stop throughout the process and kind of just like do some chatting and welcome those who are joining us. So anyway, without further ado, I am super excited. I know you're super excited. I know you students have been up for 48 hours straight programming and slinging code. So let me go ahead and queue up our first video. And give me 1 second. And I'll share my screen and my sound. Apologies in advance if the sound is pretty loud. Okay. First up is Doorman.
Welcome to Doorman. Allow me to introduce myself and the team. My name is Gannon Darcy, and with me is AJ Brush, Ryan Boris, Nick Canariato, Adam McKenney, and Thomas Hesberg. We are all full stack developers. Now, we designed Doorman as Lambda students, primarily for Lambda students, because a lot of us have been project managers, TAs, TLs, SLs, and we are getting really annoyed that we had to keep accepting, denying these GitHub invitations from the exact same people every single day. So we started to look for different opportunities that would allow us to automate it, but we couldn't find any tools or anybody else that was actually really implementing it. So we decided to use this hackathon to build that tool ourselves. So here we have our dashboard, and our search bar is integrated with GitHub's API and has an autocomplete feature. So let's go ahead and look for someone. Let's go with Big Nell. And we're going to accept him in. Cool. So what this means now is that whenever Josh Nell sends me a GitHub repo invite, it will automatically accept on my behalf every 30 minutes because we're using cron. Now, let's say Josh is just drowning me in GitHub invites and I'm getting tired of it. I can also block him as well. And we have this filtered by accepted, filtered by declined. And let's say if I wanted to remove all the rules, we have that too. So that's really the primary functionality of our application. In terms of our tech stack, We used Vue, Vuex, Vuetify, and everything else for our front end. We used Firebase for our back end. And the one thing I want to mention, though, about Vue is that prior to the weekend of this hackathon, over 2/3 of our team never touched Vue before. So we took 48 hours to learn this new framework for us to use during this 48-hour hackathon, which was challenging, but we learned a lot from it, and we were very happy with our decision to do so. Also, this application is fully deployed and able to work. So doorman.notwrong.dev, all of you can visit it, and all of you can start using it today. I'd like to thank Lambda School for providing the opportunity for us to do this, for Wes Boss and Kent Dodge for sponsoring it, and we hope that we have earned your votes. Take care. Was challenging, but
The computer science innovation of anonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto launched Bitcoin 10 years ago. Today, one Bitcoin is worth over $10,000, but it remains difficult to use Bitcoin for the types of small and medium payments that our daily commerce runs on. To solve this problem, Bitcoin engineers are developing the Lightning Network, but this is a new technology still in its Wild West days, and the infrastructure will need to be built out to make it usable for small business owners. Satoshi's Law is an app for small business owners who earn their living by tracking their billable hours and invoicing clients. As you can see, we've built a version both for web and Android. The user flow allows you to create new projects with the names, client names, and duration of tasks, and adding individual tasks that you'll eventually be able to invoice. And I'll show you here in the web app the invoicing process. Under the hood, this is going to be communicating via remote procedure call with an actual local Bitcoin Lightning node. So you can see the hours we've logged for this project code hackathon. We're going to create an invoice automatically using our RPC call. We'll be able to see on my node here that we just generated a request for payment of 200 Satoshis. We're going to send that via text to our client. And I'm going to show you here that I just received that text with the invoice string. I'm going to copy that invoice string over to my Lightning web wallet on my phone. So just give me one moment to copy that. Log into my Lightning wallet here, and using a wallet on my phone, I will paste in the invoice. It shows that they want 200 Satoshis. I'm going to go ahead and make that payment, sending, and the payment's been sent. So I will share this screen one more time, and I will show you on my local node that we've just received our payment for the 200 Satoshis that we requested. So we invoiced, and 2 minutes later, we got our Satoshis. So that is Satoshi's Law, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Unsilenced. In a well-intentioned but misguided effort to protect children from inappropriate comments on YouTube, Google disabled comments at mass scale on many accounts featuring children in any fashion, even if those accounts were well moderated by adults. One of those channels was SBSK, Special Books by Special Kids, which despite its name features interviews with special people of all ages of varying kinds and degrees of disability, and relies on comments as a way for the public to show their loving support and acceptance of those being interviewed and their families and friends. Google refused to re-enable their comments despite a massive petition with hundreds of thousands of supporters and a long history of SBSK showing careful moderation of their comments. The people SBSK interviews were suddenly cut off from the support they so much need. The story has unfortunately been the same for many, many positive channels on YouTube, and Google has refused to provide a process for comments to be restored. That's why we built Unsilenced. Creators whose comments have been disabled can enter their YouTube video link in a form, and they will receive back a special link to include in the description section of their video. Clicking the link will take the user to our site where people can watch the video while also having a comment section below to interact with the video's creators, participants, and other viewers. The comments are kindly provided for free by Discus. Creators can choose to moderate their comments if they wish. This is a tool to unsilence the silenced and re-enable the free and easy discussion forum that these many good channels once enjoyed. While not ideal, we hope it will serve as a useful stopgap measure until Google provides a way for creators to have comments re-enabled, and also to send a message that broad, overreaching attempts to counter bad behavior that affect many more good people than bad will never be acceptable or tolerated.
Pilots are required to maintain detailed flight logs, and federal regulation demands that they consolidate their records in an organized way. Enter JetLogger, a one-stop shop for airline pilots to organize their flight log books. After logging in, pilots are taken to the dashboard, where they can view metrics for how much they have flown in the previous week, as well as the various types of aircrafts that they have used throughout their career. Adding a new flight log is easy. Pilots can choose from the aircrafts they have used before, or add a new aircraft. Once the pilot selects an aircraft, they can add the extra flight details and submit the flight log. Pilots can view a table of all their previous flights in the logbook. They can organize the table by various metrics or only select certain columns that they want to view. On the profile page, pilots can add a custom signature for their flight logs. When they are ready to print their logbook, their signature will appear on every printed page. Pilots have enough responsibilities in the sky. Let JetLogger take care of the details.
Hello, I'm John Burnell, and my teammates are Sean Antonucci and John Palacio, and we're Lambda Group Organizer. We've built an app to address all the pain of signing up for Lambda Group projects. The way we sign up now is using 3 different websites: Google Sheets, Monday.com, and Airtable, which is 2 sites too many. Another pain point, and I know this has happened to some of you, you sign up and someone else accidentally overwrites your name on the project and no one knows you signed up. Lambda Group Organizer solves all those problems. For the administrators, you'll be able to add a CSV file of all the projects just once and you're done. The app will add the data to a real-time Firebase database, which will live update the React front end as students add their names to different projects. The administrators will also have a display of how many projects are in the database and how many students are currently signed up. As both a student and an administrator, you'll want to be able to find projects quickly. We have an integrated fuzzy search, so you can find a project by any keywords in the description, the target group you belong to, so you don't accidentally sign up for a data science project when you're a web developer, or you can search by a project name. Once you've found the project that's piqued your interest, click on the More Details button. A semantic UI modal will pop up so you can see all the details for the project, including who else has signed up for the project. Now you can sign up for the project, and when you go back into the More Details view, you can see you're now signed up for the project and didn't have to visit multiple websites to do it. There's a limit to 6 members per group, so you can't sign up if there's already 6 members in the group. Thank you guys so much. We're Lambda Group Organizer.
So I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. We're both coders, and I found some symbols inside of his code. And so I asked him, hey, what are these weird symbols? And he told me, oh, you mean this regex? And I said, regex? And he was like, yeah, regular expressions. And I said, that kind of rings a bell, but I don't really understand what it means. I never really took the time to understand it. And he said, I was like you once. I didn't understand it. But then I found this site called foundtext.netlify.com. It changed my life. It doesn't use any of those complex regex symbols, but it keeps it simple. No need to type. You just drag and you drop it and you understand regex. Regex uses these weird symbols to tell the code what characters it needs to find inside of a string. Now that definition might sound a little confusing, so let me just show you. Inside of this sidebar, we got different little slots. Now we got this one slot that says /W, that's the symbol, and the definition says it selects a word character. Now that might not make sense, so we can just drag it right here, and this text highlights in real time the word characters. And they're just letters, that's all it is. Word characters are letters. But what if we didn't want letters? What if we wanted numbers? Get that W out of here. What are numbers? Numbers are just digits, right? The /D selects digits. So let's grab this /D and let's slide it in there. Nothing gets highlighted because we don't have any numbers inside of the text. Go down to the text, add your numbers, and then they get highlighted, just like that. And you can go through the rest of the website. You can just drag things here, drag things there, just test the different symbols in different orders, just so that you can learn how the beginning of regex works. If you find a string that you really like, you can even grab it from right here. You can just copy that string and put it in any different code that you really need. foundtext.netlify.com. No extravagant regex symbols. No need to type. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Just drag, drop, and you learn it. And I learned from my friend that day, this is the best way that you can learn regex. foundtext.netlify.com.
Okay, we're going to take a quick breather real quick to let everyone sort of gather their thoughts. I just have to also let me, yeah, my camera's on, so you should be able to see me. Okay. I just have to say, these are some of the most fascinating projects that I have seen come out of Lambda School. I know that a couple of them have tugged right on our heartstrings, especially the Lambda project organizer. That one hits a soft spot for a lot of us who have entered this hackathon in recent days and months. And then also, man, like what a really cool cause to unsilence the comments on YouTube videos where they shouldn't be silenced. And, you know, just building everyday tools to help the life of something you're passionate in. And so that's one thing that I love about this hackathon is it's an opportunity, one of the only opportunities that students get at Lambda School to build projects that they submit to us, that they give us, that they have an opportunity to say, this is what I'm interested in, and this is what, you know, what we want to build for the hackathon. And you're going to see that there's actually quite a few different tools coming up from students who built tools that would make their lives easier as Lambda School students. So I just had to kind of pause and kind of reflect on a couple of those things as we've gotten through a few of these so far. So students, I hope you're, and staff, if you're joined, I hope that you're all taking notes because remember, at the end of this demonstration, as we get through the rest of these videos, there is a voting that will take place, you know, for which teams can win prizes. Okay. So we're going to go back to the stuff that's fun, the stuff that we're all here for. And I'm going to stop talking after I thank our sponsors once again, Wes Boss, Kent C. Dodds, and the wonderful Tyler McGinnis, all very good friends of the program. And honestly, we couldn't have made this as fun and exciting for the students without you. And of course, we want to thank Lambda School, the team behind the curtains, putting this thing together and ensuring that the students have a good time and have some fun prizes to compete for. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Let's go. We got more videos to do. So let's go.
Hello, my name is Eric and I'm part of the Alpacalypse. One of our team members is married to an in-home daycare provider and noticed his wife would spend a lot of time writing reports on the children she cares for. These reports keep parents connected and in the loop on activities, meals, and milestones. But tracking all of the information, typing the reports, and emailing the parents each day proved to be too time-consuming for her. We knew there had to be a better way, and now there is. Little Llamas is an app that will allow daycare providers to update students' records on the fly. The app allows her to track the children in her care, monitor their progress during lessons and activities, track nutrition and sleep patterns, and record the amount of time she has them in her care. At the end of the day, all of the information she's gathered, along with child-specific comments and media, can be sent to the parents with the push of a button, freeing up valuable time to care for the little humans. Parents stay connected with their children. She's able to cater to each child's individual needs and encourages transparency in the happenings of the day. This provides protection and peace of mind for all parties. To create the app, we began with an interview of his wife to discuss her current workflow, identifying her pain points and features she'd want to track. Our data scientist, Eric, scraped PDFs and images to identify common words and phrases to be used in the auto-population function of the app. Denise was responsible for the user experience and designed an app layout as our foundation. Tyler, a data scientist with graphic design background, designed our logo and all icons used in the app. Lavon, our full stack developer, relentlessly tied everything together with her work in Android Studio and connecting it to Firebase. With David acting as an advisor to the guide the development and Stephanie acting as our team lead, pushing us and holding us accountable, we were able to implement a solution that can have widespread implications.
Hello, everybody. This is the 5E Encounter Generator. This is an encounter generator for Dungeon Masters playing the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. As a Dungeon Master myself, I've sometimes had the trouble of trying to create a random battle encounter for my players. So let's say my players are in the forest and I want them to meet a group of creatures to fight. Well, traditionally, I'd have to either Google around for or look through a book for a roll table that would have a list of random creatures, and I would roll a die to pick the creature that my team would battle. But the problem with this is it's difficult to find a roll table that is the right level for your group of players. That's not too hard of a battle or too easy. And also, it's hard to find one for the right environment. And even if you do find the right table, then you have to flip through your monster manual to get to the right stat block for that monster. And if you have 5 or 6 different kinds of monsters that they're fighting, that your group is fighting, then you're going to have to flip back and forth in your monster manual between all the stat blocks, and it can be a little frustrating. So let me show you our solution. In our random encounter generator, you insert the level of your party. So let's say I have a level 5 group of players, and here the generator will automatically try to find creatures that are not too easy or too difficult for your group. And then I tell it how many creatures I want my team to fight. Let's say I want them to fight 3 creatures, and I want them to fight beasts because we are in a forest. And I don't really care if they are good or evil creatures, so I'm just going to say any alignment, and I'll generate the encounter. And it seems my team will fight a mastiff, a black bear, and an ape. And you can see that the cards came in the specific order because the generator already rolled for initiative for the monsters. So the mastiff goes first, followed by the black bear, followed by the ape. Now, what if you want to add your players to the turn order? Let's say I have a player named John. He's at level 5. And at the table, he rolled for initiative and he got a 13. I'll just add the player. And now John is in the turn order too. And as I'm playing, I can flip through the turn order, hitting next or previous. If I want to see the stat block for one of the creatures, I can just click on it and the stat block will show here in the left, and that'll let me know how much health the creature has and what kind of damage it does. And I can just click on different creatures to get different stat blocks. Now, what if we are battling and the ape dies? John kills him. Then all I do is click this death icon, and the ape is now in our graveyard at the bottom. But what if on the next turn, the black bear kills John? Well, John can go to the graveyard too, but hopefully that won't happen. And at any time, I can just end the encounter and start a new encounter. This is the 5e encounter generator. Feel free to try it.
As a new or even experienced programmer, maybe you've heard of pair programming and love it, or you might not know what pair programming is. You might be thinking, I'm totally capable of building this on my own, or I hate interacting with other humans, or I'm stuck in a bug and I need another set of eyes. But we run into another problem where we can't find others who also want to pair program. Hi, I'm Kristen, part of the Pair Me team. We've come together and built an app that allows developers to find others to collaborate and pair program with. Pair Me allows you to join a chat room, find others waiting to pair, and jump into a pair programming session with any video conference link. On our landing page, we have information for a user to learn more about pair programming. We have tips on good pairing and guidelines for successful pairing. And as a developer, all I have to do is go to the Pair Me site, click on the Start Pairing Now, enter in my name, enter in my video conference URL, and enter the chat. Then we can say something like, hey, I need help with my React app. Want to pair? We can also see how many users are in the chat currently. Great, Brad Mortensen replied, "We'll start pairing now." Brad can see my Zoom link, and once he goes to that Zoom link, we can start pairing. PairMe was built with React on the front end, an Express server running in Node for the back end, and Socket.io to handle the real-time communication between the app's users. Back on the site, you can find more information about PairMe team, which consists of Carlo Clamucha, Brad Mortensen, and me, Kristen Varr. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I know you don't want me to stop because these are so amazing, but I just have to chime in here. So we've had a lot of really awesome conversations behind the scenes as a staff team about like what we want to see out of our developers when they're graduating Lambda School, out of our students who are putting everything on the line to come to Lambda School to learn how to build these products and get out in the real world. And number one, it's very clear and obvious that the talent is there. The skills and abilities of these young and scrappy and aspiring software engineers, that's there. The talent's there. But what we're seeing right now is the passion behind all of these really cool ideas that these students brought to the table, where it's like, man, there's this problem and now I have these tools to fix it. And I don't know about you, if you're a software developer, if you're new to the industry, or if you can reflect back on those first few moments where you started to use your skills to fix a problem that you personally had, or to build something that you're passionate in, whether it be a tabletop role-playing game or an amazing opportunity to give back to the Lambda community and build an app that would actually help you as a student and your fellow students from here to here to come. I just had to chime in. I had to reflect on that, and I had to make sure that my voice was heard there, because I'm hoping that by the end of this experience, with students break their way into the industry and they come out of Lambda School, that they can exude that passion within their technical teams. And we see it here all the time, which is one of the reasons why we love what we do so much. But you will love it as well. If you're a hiring manager and you're taking on one of these students, one of these engineers, you want to add them to your team, just know that they're coming to your team with this passion, with that sort of like excitability and that energy. Like it's a no-brainer. Like, hire a Lambda School student, because obviously they're technically sound, but they're coming to you with all this passion and energy as well. Okay, once again, I'm going to stop talking. We've got a few more videos to get through. This is so amazing. Once again, students, I hope you're taking notes. Staff, I hope you're taking notes, because yes, we have a lot of really cool things, a lot of really cool voting to get through at the end of this.
Hello, everyone. We are Team Lambda Notes. We enable you to take next level notes here at Lambda School. We know that Lambda School is a fast-paced curriculum. There's lots of dense content, and it's difficult as a student to keep your notes organized in a way that's easy to read, easy to follow, and easy to find. The solution is Lambda Notes, a way to keep your notes organized just like the model of the training kit, so that you can go and reference them anytime you want. We actually use GitHub for single-click authentication, and you can select what track you are when you sign in. However, I'm already authenticated, and I am a full-stack web student, so we're going to go ahead and sign in. Future iterations of this application will include the curriculum for all tracks, not just full-stack web. So now we're signed into the dashboard layout. As you can see, it's very elegant, very clean, easy to follow since it directly mirrors the training kit itself. We have all of our sprint weeks here. I can select different sprint weeks, so we'll go ahead and do that. I am here in this dashboard, a new student at Lambda. I've been here 2 weeks. And as you can see, I have some notes for each of the days, each of the lessons within each of those first 2 weeks. Let's say I want to add a note for user interface 1. Maybe I was so nervous my first day, I forgot to write down some stuff that I wanted to jot down. So we're going to say updated information. And then we're going to say info. And we're going to save the note. Boom, note was created. And as you can see, it's now here listed underneath this day, along with all of the other notes that I've already taken. Other things that you can do with notes include, of course, deleting the note. the ability to update a note. And as I said before, even though I'm a new student and I don't have any notes extending out here, I can at any time add a new note for one of these other sprint weeks and lessons. Additional features coming soon include full markdown support and the ability to share notes with other Lambda students. This application is actually fully mobily responsive. And if you would like to check out our application, go to github.com/lambda-notes. Our tech stack was React, styled components, React Conflux, React hooks, Slate.js, Node.js, Express, MySQL, Passport.js, and Amazon Web Services. We hope that you enjoy using this application as much as we enjoyed making it. Thanks for Lambda Notes.
A few weeks ago, while I was scrolling through Facebook, one of my aunts messaged me and asked if I could fix her lost email password. Because of course, I'm a software developer and I should know how to do that. Becoming your family's IT support is unfortunately a serious problem plaguing the developer community. Why can't we be seen as normal human beings instead of Einsteins? Well, that gave me the idea to create a friendly developer-only social media platform. No more ants unless she's a developer. With Array, you'll be able to befriend fellow developers, thus creating a community of people who share the same interests as you. Programming. And perhaps even the same use of tabs or spaces. Seriously, use tabs. Why press the spacebar 4 times? Array will also allow juniors or people who just started programming to be introduced to more experienced programmers, thus opening many doors, possibly even landing a job that would otherwise be harder to attain, or at least not with the same conditions. The goal of Array is to actually facilitate the communication between two peers, kind of like P2P clients. The more seeds, the merrier. No, seriously, Array wants to help you find local events and even help you planning them. Array will also allow you to post your thoughts, kind of like Twitter, but also post articles and code snippets for you to share with the world. With all of this said, Array's front-end React application is completely open source, and any registered or non-registered member can contribute to it on GitHub, making it the first of its kind. We took the stance to create a friendly experience and not feed you with ads. Any advertisement on Array must be programming related and be somewhat beneficial to you.
Welcome to the Badger's Den application demonstration. Our application Badger's Den aims to solve key communication issues in families. Currently, parents are having to badger their children and other family members to complete tasks on time. So, we'll go ahead and sign in so you can see how we're solving this issue. So, from inside of the Badger's Den portal, you can view your schedule, which is currently a work in progress, look at your current family and family actions, and you can look at your current tasks and use the task management panel. So, we'll go ahead and go inside of the family view, and as you can see, this is our current family including the parent, and we can assign tasks from here. So, I've created some tasks in lieu of this demonstration. So, we'll go ahead and assign chore number 2 to our demo child. From here you can see that the task was assigned successfully. Now we can go ahead and log out and log into our demo child account so we can complete that task. From inside of here, the family member can see the current task that they've been assigned. This one is currently completed, and after we hit this one, we can see that this one is pending review. And after it's been reviewed, it'll look just like this one. So, alright, we'll go ahead and jump back into here. And before we go and finish up that task, I want to show you our profile view that we have as well, where you can update your profile and also add a new badger, which is a new family member. So, we'll go ahead and go back and go into our tasks view. From here, we can approve the tasks that the family member has completed, and just by default, if they haven't completed it, we can go ahead and approve that as well. So we'll go ahead and approve this one, and as you can see, that gets deleted from there. So these two are currently completed, and this one is waiting for a family member to complete. So from here, we can go into our task manager. We can create task categories in here, and also create a task in here. Just to show that this is working, we'll create event number 2. Yeah, we'll do that. And from here we can select our events category and select a due date, which we'll select July 4th at 12 p.m. After we do that, we can go back into our task view, and as you can see, we have event number 2, which is due on the 4th of July. So that's the Badger's Den application. I hope you enjoyed, and we will be adding a few different things here in the near future. Thank you. Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to Grit and Grind. Grit and Grind is a web application for fitness competitions. It was built during Lambda's Hackathon by Anthony Venturini, Alexis Carr, Skylar Carroll, Gabriel Samaniego, Jeremiah Tenbrink, and Maxim Vokarchuk. Our tech stack includes React hooks, context, and Firebase. Here we have the application. Let's begin. We can log in with Facebook, Google, or email. Here is our user dashboard where we can look at our progress on our body fat percentage and our body weight. And we can isolate each one so we can see the changes over time on our body fat percentage or our body weight. Here are our stats, our completed workouts in the last 100 days, our completed exercise, pounds lost, body fat lost, our biography, and our progress photos. Here is our leaderboard of our current competition. I am currently in 4th. Here's our workout log where we can add a session, our current body weight, body fat percentage, amount of time, exercise, miles run, weights, sets, and reps. Let's add this one. And you can see that it was added here. Next, we can take a look at the gyms in our area or the competitions. Here we can open a gym and see all the competitions that gym currently has. This project should have been more of a labs project. We had some feature overload, and it was a fun project to work on, and hope you like it. Thank you.
Lambda has always been fantastic when it comes to providing extra resources and study material for their students. However, none of these resources are specific to Lambda's curriculum or training kit. With today's technology and the course flow of Lambda, writing out handwritten flashcards is just too time-consuming. It can make things feel a little frustrating as your time is limited, and you want to put it to good use. Enter Lambda Flashcards. Lambda Flashcards was built with hopes to be one day integrated into the student training kit, with a look and feel similar to our good old friend, Training Kit. It is broken down into each cohort's curriculum and has a built-in set of flashcards from each module, outlining some of the most important material. It is simple and easy to use, and a great tool to help with those sprint challenges or just as a refresher on past modules. And for those who live a more mobile lifestyle, it even works on your phone. So next time you need to review something on Training Kit, remember, Lambda flashcards can help make studying less stressful.
Hi everyone, my name is Aitel, and I'm here to present Crypt-Dash app. Integrating our individual changes together as a team which composed of 4 team members: Brandon Allison, Brian Garcia Felix, myself, Aitel Domingo, and Amir Yunus. Our idea is towards the traders or investors, wherein a problem of a long view of tokens in market cap shows confusion when reading long tables of cryptocurrency data. In our solution, check market price and a conversion tool for rates between two tokens that isn't actually readily accessible anywhere. A quick overcap. I'm sure that everyone knows about Bitcoin. And another thing is Ethereum. Bitcoin is one of the cryptocurrencies also known as token or ICOs. Just like real fiat currencies, tokens are considered as digital asset. Let's walk through our app. Here is a dashboard component. We can allow the user to pick two different currencies. Let's say Bitcoin and 0x. Here it shows a conversion rate between two tokens. The user can then choose to save that comparison to favorites. Once the user is in the favorites, it will show a more detailed comparison with charts, prices, market volume. It shows the past 24 hours performance and market cap. The technologies that we use is a serverless Firebase, Netlify, and forward charts, D3, React, and to grab and retrieve all the information, we use API CoinGecko. Our future plans is keeping track of which wallets are being used to store cryptocurrency. It has been an incredible 2 days hackathon experience to work with the team under the time pressure and building something with purpose. Thank you.
Let's face it, technical interviews can be hard. And if you're an iOS developer, technical interviews can be really hard. After all, with iOS, there's so much to remember. There's memory management, design patterns, concurrency, core data, notifications, debugging, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Well, we at StudySwipe are here to tell you that while technical interviews can be hard, they don't have to be. With StudySwipe for iOS interviews, we'll have you swiping your way to success in no time. StudySwipe for iOS offers a fun, intuitive way to study for technical iOS interviews and provides you with rich performance metrics to track your mastery of each iOS interview topic over time. StudySwipe for iOS offers a curated list of real technical iOS interview questions across a multitude of iOS development categories. You can browse these categories and questions in the Review tab. Ready to take your iOS interview skills for a test drive? Migrate over to the Test tab, where you'll create and start a test. Think you know the test question's answer? Swipe right, and StudySwipe will log that you've mastered that question. Does this topic need more time and attention? Swipe left, and StudySwipe will remember that you want to revisit this topic. Whew. We're done testing. That wasn't so bad after all. Now, we'll head over to the Performance Metrics tab. StudySwipe keeps track of which topics you've mastered and which topics need more work, so you can hone your training. And it's that simple. StudySwipe was built by iOS engineers for iOS engineers. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, send us a note and we'll send you a link to our StudySwipe test flight app. Technical interviews can be hard, but they don't have to be with StudySwipe for iOS interviews. Try our app today and start swiping your way to success.
Hey, so picture this. It's about 8 a.m. You're getting ready to take your child to school, and they come up. Ooh, can you sign this form for me? I got to go on this trip with my class today. As my son's rushing out the door, that's been my life many mornings. And he hands me a barely legible, crumpled, torn, and threadbare piece of parchment from about 2 weeks ago. I sign it as I try not to push a hole in the paper with the pen. In that moment, I question everything about 2019, and I think there must be a better way. Enter Permissionly. This is a web app that saves you from the crumpled paperback fishing, last-minute field trip existence that is most parents' lives or guardians' lives. We let teachers create a field trip once, send an SMS, and send an SMS to the guardian, and then get their permission all in one step with them sending a text back. No more ripped 3-week-old parchment from your student's backpack while they're focused on the next Fortnite match. And so here you can see we create a trip. We're going to Chicago with the class, and we have a date of August 5th, 2021. It's a pretty far in the future trip. And we send this out, and it will go to the roster of the students' parents, guardian phone number of the class. And we implement it with Twilio. We can view the field trips that exist right now. This is the answers back. We got to work on cleaning that up. But we used HTML, CSS, React, JavaScript, and then Twilio API to send the message back and forth. And the backend was using Node, Express, and PostgreSQL. So future implementation could include a Maps API to send with the SMS, or adding a page for each trip so teacher or students, parents could refer back. Our team comprised of myself as a project manager, Lennox Prince as our user experience and our designer, Rodine Frazier as our backend developer, and Ryan Matthews also as a backend or full stack. Vicky Yu was a front-end developer, Jason Aviles was a front-end developer, and Curtis Scaife was a front-end developer as well. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to view our site. Here at Libel, we used React, Node, Express, Firebase to create the site that you see here. The functionality is simply using a Foursquare API to someone can type in like a venue, a park, food, different categories, and it'll give them results based on their location. As you can see with the submit button. The team consisted of 6 people from web part-time 8. We just finished our first week of JavaScript. And it's Aaron Spurgeon, Carl Redding, Cliff Hodges, Jay Leach, Nick Durbin, and Robert Allen. So yeah, thanks for taking a look.
Hey, I'm Justin Hammett, and I'm showcasing the t-shirt shop. What started with a brief interview question asked to Marshall turned into something much more, a beautiful application. Over the last couple of days, my team consisting of Leslie Rodriguez, Bryce Evans, Jacob Tona, Marshall Lanners, and myself were able to put a serious dent in our ambitious project. So without further ado, here's the t-shirt shop. We're on the landing page right now, and I'm going to just show you guys the mobile view of it. It is fully responsive, but there are graphical bugs on desktop, so I think we'll just stick to mobile. So, kick it off. Here is we have a top navigation. We haven't figured out our logo yet. And then a user information panel and a cart. Then going down, we have a subnav that would have the categories of the site, and then a weekly sale little jumbotron here. Then we go into the sections with the shirt grids. Here are a few sales that we have. We have the 24-hour sale. We have a Hot 4, which are 4 popular items this week. A little call to action for users to sign up. Recently added, so you can search by the date they were added. Another kind of alert that sign up in a footer. Let's go in and jump into this first card though. So jumping into this first product page, you see that the title's up at the top. You got the price over there. Just pick your options. You can up the quantity. And from there, you can just, let's say, and add it to cart. Afterwards, you get alerted with your cart. It tells you your subtotal, your quantity. We haven't gotten the delete functionality working yet, but obviously we would have CRUD functionality in there too. And then you could place your order. And just like that, your order's placed. If you need to update your address beforehand, this would populate with your current address if you already had one, if you had a user account. But since this is empty, you gotta kind of change your address and then they'll ship it out. So that's what we have so far. I want to go over what my team worked on real quick. So my team, Jacob and myself, were on UX duties the first day, and then UI duties, and we kind of switched over to working on web front end stuff. And my rest of my team was Leslie and Bryce were working on the React. I think Alejandro too. And then Marshall was on the back end. Me and Jake did kind of whatever.
Well, how about that? Well, you have all witnessed something. I've seen the chatter in the Hackathon channel in our Slack community. Wow, I'm blown away. Every single time we do one of these events, there's a lot of cool things that happen. And one of those is that students really have this sort of pressure. It's like when we kind of shorten a deadline and give them a fun event to kind of like buy into and build something, some amazing stuff happens. And these weren't even all the projects that were built. These were just the ones that were submitted to be demoed. So there was a lot of other different projects that may or may not be equally as impressive as the ones that we've seen here today, if not more. Once again, I just have to thank our sponsors really quick. The wonderful one and only Tyler McGinnis, and Kent C. Dodds himself, and the one and only Wes Boss, all of whom are proud to be sponsors of this event and have given their some prizes for our students to receive. So just so that you're all aware, if you don't know that much about Lambda School, or if you've never heard of us before, we are a 40-week online live educational platform that allows you to accelerate your career as an alternative to secondary education. The model itself is what really intrigues a lot of people to sign up, but the quality of the instruction and the quality of the students and the community that Lambda School, that is Lambda School, is what keeps people coming and what keeps people drawn towards the successes that they continue to they consistently continue to cross over with and reach amazing heights within their careers. If you have any questions or you want to sign up, if you want to see what kind of class offerings we offer, if you want to be one of these students one day building a project that I'm sitting here talking about on YouTube Live, then go ahead and head over to lambdaschool.com and we'll get you set up with all the information that you need. I can't thank you students enough for making this event happen. We can give you these opportunities, but it's you who really makes this happen. So students, go ahead and stay tuned because I am about to release in the next 10 minutes a voting form, and staff, if you participated as well, I will be releasing a voting form for you to vote for a single group. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hanging out. Students, you all need to go ahead and celebrate by taking the rest of the week off enjoying the wonderful freedoms that we enjoy in this wonderful country of ours. And we'll see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for tuning in.